It's my pleasure to introduce Phil Groom, a 50-year Bromley resident and 50-year husband of Jenny. They have 2 children and 5 grandchildren to keep them busy. Phil's career history can broadly be categorised into 3 phases. Financial services, including investment banker, aviation finance, industrial finance, and self-employed finance broker. He then changed direction, owning a will writing franchise, which brings us to direct sales for utility warehouse with Jenny, which he'll cost effectively enlighten us on in a minute. His COVID permitting hobbies include traveling in his motorhome, skiing, cycling, and self-development studies. His ambition is to become incidental to the growth of his income. A fun fact about Phil, he once helped Pink Floyd finance their 1987 Momentary Loss of Reason tour by arranging a loan against one of the world's most valuable cars. So over to the man himself, Phil Groom.
Yeah, hi everybody, Phil Groom. Okay to share my screen, Lillian?
You're muted, Lillian.
I think you should be able to, let me just check. Yeah, you can share your screen.
Okay. Thank you. Right. Yeah, so Phil Groom, UW. As Tim says, been a citizen of Bromley for many years now, and yeah, enjoying life with my wife Jen and the family. Yeah, essentially semi-retired, but quite fascinated by the business I'm in. That's me and Jen recently in London, as you may see, and also enjoying ourselves. We have an apartment down on the Costa del Sol, so there's a beach in Marbella. That's my daughter and her family, 3 little ones there at Christmas, with them in Sheffield, and with my son and his family in Bromley. In fact, that's in the Chelsfield pub, which is, I think, something that Helen recommended. So thank you for Helen for that. And that's Lake Como with the motorhome. So that's what we love doing. This is my identities over the last few years, anyway, in various guises. But we come on to the energy crisis. There are quite a few reasons for this. There's the supply and demand inequality because of lack of production during COVID, and then now the industrial activity has really picked up across the world, so there is a shortage. There's the political considerations with the Nord 2 pipeline and Mr. Putin causing issues with the supply of gas to Europe. And you've got to bear in mind that Russia probably has 50% of the world's natural resources. So an immensely powerful unit in this context. And the other side of the coin is the plan to get to net zero on emissions. So we have a situation where Germany has turned off its nuclear power plants. There was nothing wrong with them, it's just shut them down. France is running down its nuclear capability, and France is probably the leader in world production of electricity via nuclear power. And in the UK, because we have North Sea assets, there's been a disincentive for the extended recovery and exploration of new resources of that nature, because it's fossil fuel. But bear in mind that still a large portion of our electricity comes from gas-fired power stations. So the gas shortage has been what is really crucial. Now, as you will already be aware, and the wholesale energy prices have risen steeply over the last year. There's been a number of casualties in the number of energy companies offering to supply, and you see from this list who the bigger ones that have ceased trading since August 2021. There was a report out today that suggested that there's another 20 or so companies who will probably go, and who are in a not wonderful financial position, and a number of them have possibly negative net worth on their balance sheets. So they are really in a vulnerable position. This little chart, a little bit out of date, but gives you an idea of what sort of money is being made and lost in the energy retailing businesses. OVO running a big deficit, possibly due to their takeover of the retail arm of SSE. Bulb we know about, just unsustainable. An Octopus, now that's an interesting one, because part of this report today suggested that a very vulnerable, at least some very vulnerable companies, were also companies that had taken over the portfolios from these collapsed companies. Well, Octopus is one of those. Seems to be a very well-run company, but running a considerable deficit. So this is what this is where we are at the moment. The current price cap is £1,277. Now that is something that's created by Ofgem. It's an average. It doesn't really mean anything as far as you are concerned in your own property. Don't expect to be paying £1,277 a year for your energy. There's 14 different regions, and they're all slightly different because of supply difficulties. So that's an average for average use property. It's expected to go up in 1st of April by roughly 50% to just under £1,600 a year. And where you see that line, the estimated price cap 1865, that is in fact an estimate for what the price cap will be in October this year. So we're expecting another 25% increase on where we are now. The price cap is derived from a rolling average of the 6 months, and it is till the end of January before we know the exact number for the 1st of April. So that's the background. The choice of supplier has reduced substantially. Essentially, the price comparison sites are pretty much out of the market because they relied on the ability, in my view, to encourage smaller suppliers to meet unrealistic low pricing targets, so that they will be able to, the price comparison sites will be able to pass customers to them, because obviously price comparison sites are paid by the supplier for introductions. So I think there are no deals available on energy on the price comparison sites, and it's probably the end of that. It is also the end of an era where, because of that, picking up the phone and saving 300 or 400 quid a year on your energy, that is probably gone forever as well. All the energy suppliers on the price cap are probably losing a bit of money anyway, because the price cap doesn't actually represent what the wholesale costs are at the moment, because they're still going up so steeply. So that's a background to it. At the energy side, I'll quickly cover, without any graphics, broadband and mobiles. The broadband market is another fairly major expense in household budgets. Most of the broadband suppliers are putting their prices up between now and April. Talking about the BT, PlusNet, EE, and Virgin. Now, there used to be quite a handy get out of jail free card in the Ofcom rules, where if you had a contract with a supplier and they put the price up within your contract, you could leave them within a certain time without penalty. But through restructuring its deal with BT, certainly now have probably got virtually all of its contracts on the basis that there's a built-in price increase within that contract. So the get out of jail free card doesn't apply. It still does to Virgin. So if anybody's with Virgin and fancies having a change from them, I think they've probably got to the middle of next month to change without penalty.
We've just got about a minute left, Phil, so we've got time for Q&A.
Oh, blimey, hang on a sec.
We've had 9 minutes.
Okay, right, I'll go on to UW. With the UK's only genuine multi-service provider, this is a quick comparison of the variable rates available. And you can see that the only one that's cheaper than UW is Octopus, ostensibly, although possibly if you rang Octopus, they'd only offer you a fixed rate. This is our fixed rate comparison. So you can see that UW is probably, although our fixed rate is somewhat shorter than others, this is because I think we're thinking that the prices will cap out within the medium term, not the long term. So we're not recommending very long-term fixed contracts. This is a price comparison, switching all the services to UW. You can see we would actually save you quite a lot of money there. So on this instance, if you had energy with EDF, broadband with Virgin and unlimited mobile with O2, we'd save you £40 a month. Again, this is a Shell Energy broadband from PlusNet and mobile from EE, £30 a month. We're now doing this as well. We guarantee you'll pay less with us than your current suppliers. So, you know, anybody who talks to us, we will actually make sure they pay less over the next 12 months they're paying now. So the more exciting bit from my point of view is, and this comes up with another report out today, that during January, 2.5 million households in the UK missed out on either their mortgage payment, rent payment, credit card payments, or bill payments. The cost of living crisis overall is far more dangerous than the energy crisis. So what we can help people do is generate an additional income. So that's primarily what I'm really interested in. So these are sort of numbers that we can help people generate. Okay, so the 1,000 to 2,000 a month and the 5,000 plus, that is a long-term project, but certainly 100 to 500 pounds a month, we can help people do that very quickly. So if you know anybody who is really struggling at the moment, I'd have to have a chat with them. So, and it is also the path to financial freedom, because just think about this, if you understood residual income, you would walk through a brick wall to get it. And that's what our business generates for people. So that's horribly overrun there. So, yeah, questions?
Great stuff. Thank you very much, Phil.
Question, please.
Yeah.
I've heard that I think it's because of Brexit, or it may be because of what you've just outlined, that roaming charges are coming back on mobile phones when you go on the continent. Is that going to be the case if you're with Utility Warehouse? Will there be roaming charges?
The companies that are bringing them back are Vodafone, 3 and EE. Ourselves, O2 and Virgin have no plans to reintroduce them.
Great. Am I glad to hear that? Because it's very expensive, isn't it?
Yeah, I think EE are talking about a charge of £2 a day.
Yeah.
But there will be possibly the possibility of deals within that. but that's, I think, that's not until July. I think Vodafone have already started, or probably the end of this month, and Three, they're scheduled to bring it back in May. So,
Is
yeah.
that solely because of the electricity cost going up? Is that why they're doing it?
No, it's just to improve their cash flows, basically.
Because Brexit has stopped them being governed.
Yeah.
Rule no longer applies because we're no longer, because it was a European rule, wasn't it?
Well, it was a European rule, yeah. I think the costs of cross network communication aren't quite as high as people make out, and that's what it's all about. Just cross network communication.
Can I do another question? I don't want to hog it. Tell me to shut up if you want to, everybody. Am I right in saying, Phil, to get commission or to get a residual income from utility warehouse, all anybody has to do is recommend them to you or somebody like you within the organisation to get.
Yeah, I think the business opportunity for UW is really exciting. When you stand back and look at it, we are paid a percentage of our customers' bills each month. We are also paid a small amount of anybody that we get going and help to be successful in the business, a little tiny bit of all their customers' bills, and so on down the levels, so that at the end of the day, you're starting to generate pure residual income, pure passive income.
You've got to pay a sign-up fee as well, don't you, for UW to join up as a partner?
Oh yeah, it's a massive 10 quid. And for that you get the website and all the well, there is a £3 a month charge. They've done it differently. After 3 months, there's a £3 a month charge that covers all the compliance with the regulatory authorities like Ofgem, Ofcom, the FCA, our regulators, providing all the ongoing training, and also when we go and see people and do events, it also covers our public liability insurance. So not a bad deal, all in all. And when you weigh that against the virtually unlimited upside, it is such a good deal. Remember, we've only got 2% of the market in this country.
One question for you, Phil, from Mark Browning, because I'm just asking on his behalf because he's on his phone, so he probably can't see half of what's going on.
Sorry, Richard, before you do that, Phil, can you stop sharing your screen so we can kind of see everyone? Sorry. Thank you.
Yeah, so Mark Brown asks, who do Utilities Warehouse piggyback for their phone services?
Well, we use the OpenReach network, which is so
that's on O2, right?
Part of BT.
Okay.
So it's apart from Virgin, they run the major infrastructure. I always think that's another regulatory cop out where OpenReach is still a subsidiary of BT. Although BT claim it's independent, they don't actually have their own budget. Yeah, how's that work?
Well, just following the law, I guess, aren't they?
Yeah, and our mobiles we wholesale through EE, to say it's ostensibly have the widest coverage in the UK.
Right. So if anyone got a mobile phone through Utilities Warehouse, it would effectively be on the EE network.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Am I right?
I think that's what Mark was asking.
Yeah.
Am I right in saying, Phil, that to get the benefits of this, if I happen to be talking to the guy next door and I said to him, you could save a few quid on all your utilities and mobile phones, etc., just talk to Phil Groom, I'll give you the phone number. If that then becomes a successful sale, I get a commission.
Yeah, if you're an existing customer and you refer someone to me, and they become a customer, you can earn up to 50 quid for that introduction. And as a surprise, that's a totally unlimited offer. So people can zero their bills on a monthly basis if they want to. But then again, if you're in fact referring people at that rate, then there's a good argument to actually think about becoming a partner, because you get an awful lot more money. So what I say to people is, yeah, I can probably save you 300 or 400 quid a year on your bills. But how about if you've got a few hours spare a month or a week? I'll work with you with the people that you know, and we'll show them this, and we'll get you between 250 and 500 quid a month, every month for the next year or beyond.